What's up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video. This is another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. And this is going to be a really interesting one in particular. Shout out to BGS. He always brings the fire. So this video is really, it's not even a response. It's more of an add-on to the video he did. I'm not going to lie. I haven't listened to the full video. I've gotten to the part where, he showed the clip and then he started talking about public castration and the dude uploading the video. So I want to give context to that. Anyway, so if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. I appreciate, the new folks that have come through. Definitely make yourself be seen in the comment section, as well as the chat in the comment section. I definitely respond to pretty much all my comments. I'm at that point where I can still do that. Also, I want to give a thank you for all the people that's cashed at me, not just recently, but like in the last 90 days, like the whole way through. I've definitely done kind of an accounting of my numbers, and I really do appreciate it. I am very humbled by it, that you all get value from what I have to say. Also, I definitely appreciate you all super chatting me. And like I said, there's going to be more really good stuff to come. Obviously, I notice when there's more panels, I get, you all tend to like the panels more. So I'm definitely going to be trying to do some things that, a little bit different, maybe interviews, stuff like that, to kind of get the content going. Also, Ramil one thing that's real interesting about this, and I'm going to revisit this, is Ramil actually did a video. I don't know if he's put it to Patreon or not, but if he hasn't, he did a video where Mr. Let Go, if any of you all know, that actually came on, because Ramil said it straight like this. He said if a child that he has disrespects him like that, he doesn't have any kids as of yet, he's abandoning that little motherfucker. That's basically what Ramil said. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I agree with it. I agree with that. I'm going to tell you right now, I spent a year in foster care, and I love my mother. I was raised with my mom, a stepdad for like 10 years. And I can tell you right now, my mom would have put me in a fucking foster home. And I know she would have, because she always threatened me with that. Like, I keep telling you all, I've always been an observer of like reality. Even as a young person, I always question things. And I didn't question things to be disrespectful, but if something didn't make sense, I'm going to ask at least one why. And I wasn't one of these why this, why that. It's like, look, what you saying is like completely opposite to what I see things to be true. I'm going to question. And I've always, and I know, if you're a child, saying a child's place, but you also know Black people are big on do as I say, not as I do. And, I'm the oldest, and then my mom was like the youngest in her family. So you have to understand, and those kind of dynamics, there's certain dynamics with that. They kind of clash on its own. But yeah. So, and my mom would be real quick at saying she would send me to DCFS. If y'all from Chicago, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. and it was that times I was threatened with that even. And trust me, I was not a wild kid. I was a very, very conservative child. So I didn't do anything when it comes to crazy shit. I was extremely risk averse. I've always been that way. So I wasn't that type of problem at all. So a lot of that was putting a threat out there in order to kind of maintain control. That's what that was. But anyway, the point is, I say that to say, and yes, I did spend a year in foster care. That had nothing to do with my attitude. That had to do with a domestic situation that my mom and my stepdad went into that basically ended in both of their dumbass going to the cops. My mom went first, and then he went, because in our state, we don't have any family members out here. You go in, they have nowhere to put you. So you go into the foster care, like the emergency foster care system, and then it turned out my mom had anger management issues, and then that went into her being assigned a guardian ad litem, which is a black woman, which did not work. My mom did the jail with Black women like that, so that's the one telling her what to do. And a year later, I was in there for a year. So my point is, when I say this, I'm not just on I'm just talking shit to be talking shit. I understand what that means. I understand what that is. I understand how that can happen. And you have a lot of parents. And by the way, it's very well known. BGS has said it. A lot of do. It's well known that if women can't control the boys, they're gonna kick them out. And if women, even though women have a little bit more of a tolerance, if they can't control their girls, they're gonna kick them out too. Or they're gonna run away. Which is where you have all these stories of women stripping at 16 and shit like that, because they got it right. So I don't say this with just, oh, I'm just shooting from the hip saying some shit, because I understand how black people get, and especially if you've seen the video, it's a black girl doing that. Now, I promise you he would respond very differently if that was a black boy doing that. Also, I like to add in the situation 50 Cent and his son, which is another example. You know, Kirk Franklin and his son. So, now you can look at like, Floyd Mayweather, Dark, but my point is, these things happen, and what black people tend to do, and I'm talking about black men too, is they tend to have this kind of thing where they want to, these are dudes that have kids, so this isn't about dudes without kids don't understand it, because we can infer this through our experiences growing up, right? You know, black men, the only power black men have in this country is the power of what they choose to do. And there are consequences, and black men deal with the full weight of consequences of anything they do, and we are over punished for things that we do. We all know this. So, but this is the water we swim in. We're actually used to this. So when we make that move, we know what we're doing, and we accept whatever comes with that if we do it. I know BJS was talking about how Zillennials tend to have more edge than millennials. It is what it is, but both groups understand. Zillennials tend to have a fuck it mentality and see what happens. Millennials tend to be more of, what we're doing, which is trying to talk it out and then protect yourself from a situation happening before it happens. We tend to be more risk averse, versus them tend to be like, F it, what you gonna do? And my younger brother is actually like that. Even though he's what I call a bleeding edge millennial, because he's right in that like turnaround year. So if you all haven't seen the video, I would recommend you go see the video. Go see at least the initial 60 seconds and then come back, because that was the initial video clip. And it's of this little girl basically disrespecting the fuck out of her father. I'm not here to repeat the same thing BGS said. What I want to talk about is the dude. And this is kind of what BGS was kind of going at. But I want to kind of give my own take on it. I want to be very clear here. I have zero sympathy for that black man. If I was going to talk to him in his face, I would ask him very simply before I decide how I'm going to think about it. If this was somebody I knew, and make no mistake, I actually have a friend that I'll consider one of my best friends going into high school, where he actually had a kid with a white woman very quickly once he got in the military, and it turns out that ain't his kid. Now, granted, he's still in that kid's life. It turned out like 7 years later, that's not his kid. And he's still in the life because that's what his Christianity informs him to do. I'm not saying that to say what I think about it. I'm saying that that's his decision, whatever. And I'm saying that I get it. I've seen situations that kind of go in this type of realm. This is not something that I'm just running my mouth about. I'm telling you right now, and that a lot of situations like that informs how I would be. I'm telling you right now, you disrespect me like that, I'm telling you straight up, I'm not talking to you for like 2 years. Automatic. And that's before we even have a conversation. Like straight up. I don't give a fuck about what the females said, nothing say. And this is why I don't got kids right now. Because you got a lot of dudes that they see what other dudes go through, and they're like, I'm not doing that, because I already know I'm gonna do. And people will try to make Ramil look like an extremist, but honestly, more black men need to be very honest about that. See, this is one thing a lot of people don't understand. A lot of folks that want to get on these panels, like Mr. shout out to Gay Bay, but Gay Bay did it I think he was on Ramil's thing today. Mr. Let Go did it before. They want to play these devil advocate roles. The reality of the situation is the more quote unquote extreme that certain dudes are on, that actually helps the dudes that are actually in the thick of it, because they start to value those guys more. You know, the ones that really want, the women that really want to play games, they start to value those guys more because they know this is what the alternative is. You can either negotiate with the folks or deal. I'm not gonna call us the T word, but you can either deal with the folks that they ain't playing no games, or you can deal with folks that want to deal. Even with me with this conversation, you can deal with me, or you can deal with dudes that they ain't even gonna hear you out. Like the Z's are not even hearing a lot of these women out. They're just doing them. And women don't respect, women are not going to respect that until they start to see more and more people come on that side. And I would submit to you that this guy, this would be one of them very same niggas, I promise you, that would get on one of our panels. I'm talking about the dude that made that video, because you got to think of the type of dude that is. BGS said this, and I'm gonna say it again. What is the fucking purpose of you putting that on social media? Is it possible it could be a play? Maybe. But what's the point? You already got the video. If you're going to use it in court, you can use it in court. The woman ain't going to get, let's be clear here. Nobody gives a fuck about black men being disrespected. Nobody gives, when a black woman is whooping a black boy's ass in the street for being out there protesting, she gets celebrated. Like, yeah, black men that are the very few black men that understand the misandry situation, like Dr. Tiasan Johnson in our space. But outside of that, most black men are going to find a way to say it's something he didn't do. Maybe you're not in her life. Like Mr. Let Go. Like, it's interesting because I hadn't seen the video till recently. And if you go on the panel, if you see like the video that Mr. Let Go, not on his channel, but on Ramil's channel, when he came up there and the argument that he was having, he was basically arguing, well, she has a right to not want to talk to her father. Like, he did not see anything wrong with what she did. He was going on some white feminist, white female counselor type shit. And I'm like, nigga, are you even black? And I say that because there's no fucking way you could come up in a black household. I don't give a fuck if they're conservative, if they're suburbs, I don't care what class, and then think that shit would be okay under the notion of having space. We're not raised that. Even the women can't wild out, not like that openly at that age. No, that's not okay. And to him, it was like, oh, like some white boy hollering at their mom. And, oh, well, he needs space. That's not how black people, like, culturally, we're not wired that way. We're just not. And so, but that was what he was taking on it, which is crazy to me, which I already know what that is. That's that protect little girls at all costs bullshit. But that guy that got disrespected, he would be, I bet you, he would be one of them niggas that would side with dudes like Mr. Let Go. He would be one of these niggas that's pushing back against what we say. And I'm not even talking about like what Ramil said about he would abandon the kid. Even if you come out, even if we don't go that far with it, he would be one of those. I promise you, he would be one of these guys. I know that because only one of those guys would actually think that putting the shit on social media, because I know he did it, not the woman, would be something that would create an outcome that's favorable to him. And BGS said that. Like, he basically, you not only got castrated by your child, which, by the way, you don't have control over. Like, you don't have control over. Because, and I do agree that the female is encouraging that. And the dude looks like a pretty well put together brother. You know, he doesn't look like one of the, dudes. Now you somehow in your mind, which tells you don't really understand the overall environment, which most black men don't. So that's not nothing to jump on. The way you think putting this on social media is going to do something. You think that's going to get people to shame the mother? Black men are not going to shame the mother. Black women are not going to. Like, what outcome? And then he'll probably be like, well, I didn't really think. You're right, because most black men don't think about these things. He's one of these niggas, if I do everything I'm supposed to do, so there's certain things you're owed. You're not owed anything. There's nothing, black men need to understand, there's nothing that's really guaranteed to you as a man. You have no rights, not really. And so in that way that you have no rights, this is a perfect example of you really have no burdens. Now, obviously, there's consequence. Obviously, if he's not, I don't know what the situation is. If he's living with it, ain't no way in hell. I cannot believe that he's living with her and they're in the same household. She would think to do that. And if they're in the same household, that's actually worse. So I'm going to assume they're not in the same household. Because they're the same household, that's like textbook submissive. But if they're not in this, I mean, this nigga's being treated like, nigga, I was raised around stepfathers. Like, that's some shit that would be extreme for a step. That I won't say extreme. That would be kind of up there, even if you were a stepdad, to get disrespected like that. Like that. That's a biological daughter situation. And so people would then ask, well, what are you supposed to do? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what I would do. That she would be a check. That's a check. That's what that is. That's a check. And like, shout out to Invincible with Omni-Man, you can restart again. You know, you charge that to the game. People can say you don't got kids. That's easier said than done. I can respect that. Shout out to Heat. That's the discipline. Because either you're going to be a cuck, because if she's doing that at like under 10, God, wait till she becomes 13 and 14 and 15. So you're either going to suffer. We'll assume she's 7 or 8. You're either going to suffer for like 10 years. That's what you're going to do. Suffer for 10 years. You know, I mean, look, you're going to be paying the money regardless. So that I can't help you with. That you already caught that financially transmitted disease. So you need to just charge that to the game. But real talk, I got to tell you right now, if my child, I say this, no. And I know you're emotionally attached. I understand that. Or no, I'm not going to act like I understand it because I don't have kids, but I can imagine that. I can. But that's your choice. Now what this is what black men would do. What black men will do is they'll let that little voice in their head to say, she just did that once. Well, ain't no way she did that on the phone like that. And that's the first time. Or, you know, you just got to deal with it. Just stick with her. That's what love is for. Hell, you know, even if somebody tried to tell me, give me a solution that doesn't require me abandoning my child. Well, shit, does she know her grandmother? Does she know her grandmother? Or does she know only her maternal grandparents? Because that's a situation that if you must have something, this is where you would get your mama on her ass to jam her. But see, here's the problem. The problem is the woman controls the child. So she don't have to talk. And if that's not already set up, and you're in a situation, I mean, like, it's like, why don't 50 Cent do that with I don't know if his parents are still alive, with his kid, when his kid was starting to hate him. You have no options. I'm sorry. I'm a very imaginative thinker. You don't have any really good options. You don't. It's deal with it. And quite frankly, that kid's going to turn. Because if she's rebelling that much against you, remember, if you're in her life, you are supposed to be the safest man that she can deal with. If she's rebelling like that to you at that age and hormones have not even kicked in yet, who knows? What is she going to do with anybody else? And see, what black people do here is they'll start blanking out. They can't answer the question. So what they'll do is they'll just emotionally like block it out and like pretend it doesn't exist. And this is the type of mentality that had him think it would be a good idea to upload this bullshit in social media. Because he wanted some sympathy. I don't know from who. Because even if people give him the initial outrage, they not going to do nothing to her. They not going to shame that mama. I don't, you know. And so now it's public that stuff is there. And now people are in your business, me, other people making comments on what you should do. But this is a teachable moment. You know, people like to talk about alpha male, beta male, all that other bullshit. The reality of the situation is, man, you know, what's the value of a husband and shit? What's the value of a black man? I'm telling you, dude, like, you only get one life to live. And if I'm sorry, if that's the price that I got to deal with dealing with I'm telling you right now, like, and I grew and I was raised this way. Make no mistake. Like, if I ever, I'm not like I never called my mom out of her name. Like, but that was when I was grown. That was when I was well over. I was like 25. You know, and trust me, she was wilding out. But the reality of the situation is, you know, I would ask, this is what I would ask anybody that would look at that video. If you're a black woman, would you tolerate that from your son or daughter? It don't even matter. Like, let's say daughter. Could you see black women tolerating that shit from their daughter? I mean, you see all the TikTok memes, the Facebook memes of when black people do shit like to their parents, what happens? Would a black woman tolerate that shit? Seriously. Irregardless if they're the main per custodial parent. Why is it that a black man should tolerate that? And here, and when I say tolerate that, I'm talking about deal with that to the extent of being in that person. Well, she's a kid. She don't know. Bullshit. Bullshit. She knows that's her father. The end. And see, this would be something, and Ramil said it, and I'm going to piggyback on him. Real talk. If a child like that first, I'm not even gonna say, like, with a boy, you can handle a boy a little bit differently. But the truth, because there's certain things you can do to a boy, and with a boy you can't do to a girl. But even if you look at dudes like 50 Cent, Kirk Franklin, motherfuckers said, you know what, I got other kids, I don't gotta deal with this shit. And even though Kirk Franklin tried to stay with his kid as much as he could, as far as the son is really wilding out. And we have situations like this in our family. Like, even Kevin Samuels said there's siblings he don't even know. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know what motherfuckers think this is, because that, you know, they know the difference, because this is shit that wouldn't happen with their mom and they don't expect any kind of consequences. But I'm telling you right now, if people were to ask me, like, the reason why I don't have sympathy for that dude, like I said, is because that dude is one of the main, I bet you he's one of the main Negroes that don't get it. He's one of the main Negroes that be telling you, if you do everything right, right things are going to happen to you. And I'm going to tell you, motherfuckers like that need to be castrated, because that is to show other motherfuckers, even when you do and this is not to say that 100% everything happens a certain way. This is not what I'm saying. But this shit happens a lot more than what black men are willing to admit. This shit may not be this extreme, but this shit happens a lot more. And a lot of dudes are basically suffering in silence because they think that's what the right thing to do is. Like, I remember I had a conversation with another YouTuber. I won't say who he is because y'all would know him if I said it, but we were talking about Glenn and Cameron. And Glenn and Cameron has he has kids. These to talk about, but he was a little bit more open about it in the past, and he talked about how he won the child support situation because there was an agreement that they had, and he was doing his agreement, and then his ex-wife basically took the kid and bolted, and then it was a decision. He made a decision to not chase after, you know, her kid, his daughter, and that's the extent that I'm gonna leave it. And he said when she gets older, look, the conversation will be had, and he'll have the receipts to have it. But is he going to, and he had a recent health scare. Imagine if Glendon would have been suffering from hypertension and the stress that comes along with you trying to fight for your kid. Another dude, shout out to Dre. Dre just said, I'm going to deal with the full FTD. And he basically said, I'll pay you child support, just give me the kid. And Glendon Cameron or Dre, these are very built men. These are men's men. You can't play oh, well, maybe he was a beta card. No, that card can't be played with both of them. That card can't be played with both of them at all. So it gives you a perfect example that bullshit don't mean, like I said before, a lot of times the more alpha a dude is, the more these women will actually use white supremacy on them. And when white supremacy don't work, because I've heard that before, a lot of these women would just leave the state. Because it ain't about what's right or what's not right. So when dudes always try to come back to where if you're just alpha enough and you doing what you're doing, there ain't no more doing what you do. Like, that's bullshit. Because I've seen too many situations in my real life to know that they those, I'm not saying that always is the case, but god damn it, that shit is not a universal solvent like people be trying to act like it is. That's usually Negroes just trying to find reasons. But yes, man, and I applaud Drake for making that decision. He a better man than me. Well, it's probably his son wasn't disrespecting him like that. It was just the mom was the problem, and he dealt with that. So, but even with Glendon, what are you gonna do? And the dude was telling me, "Oh, well, I don't really respect that because I would have did that." No, you wouldn't have. Every guy has their limits, and when the law and when they're allowed to do like extra legal shit like that and get away with it, because if a dude takes a, let's be clear here. I don't care if you all have joint custody. Let a nigga try to move like that. That's going to be called you kidnap your own child. They going to find a law to get your ass. So dudes talk that shit, and I love it when the dudes that got cooperative females, and shout out to you. I'm not going to even say you pick. Part of it is you did pick, but a part of it is luck. And so a lot of the guys that got cooperative women, they try to act like it's a whole bunch of cooperative women out here. Like, well, I found one, so you can too. And I'm like, that's not always true like that. And those be the main Negroes that be wanting to always have these like these contrarian arguments. Like what we saying is like extreme. But anyway, and the stats back us up. But anyway, yeah, that's the main thing. I didn't want to make this too long, but that's the main thing I want to really put out there. Because you see this a little bit, and it's always the guy abandoning it, because every time something comes out of a female bitch's mouth, it's that the man abandoned us. He did, and if y'all did a super chat, my bad, I missed it because I'm not looking at the comments. But the reality of the situation is, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't deal with that, because it's not about it's disrespect. I'm looking at, okay, I'm going to deal with this. This is like a lifetime thing. Oh, and I'm rolling the dice that they may grow out of that. Oh no. You get like that, and I have no other options. Oh yeah, that's getting wrote off like bad credit. And I think like this now. So make no mistake, when I'm make no mistake. I definitely, if I do have a kid, I'm prepared to have this mentality. And this is why, who you have a kid with is very important. But at the end of the day, even if you make that mistake, there's no threat level. Like, you can tell she don't like, there's no threat level. It's like, what he gonna do? And then, oh, well, she's not gonna understand. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, she's not gonna understand, because if her mother's in there telling her, corrupting her, it doesn't matter. There's nothing you're gonna do. You're rolling the dice that they may find religion later on. That's a long gamble. And you rolling the same amount of dice if you just say, fuck it. Point blank, period. And the problem is, not enough dudes really think about this. They just hope it never happens. But when it happens, what did he do? That's some effeminate shit. You put it on social media. Why? Why would you do that? Like that, just like, as a man, why would you do that? Like, for real. That's what I don't understand. Like, what did you expect? You expect men to shame her? Nigga, you fucked her. At the end of the day, dude, you probably want to be one of these niggas that you couldn't be told shit. And I want to make it clear, because Jason Black used to do this when it comes to dudes that people that got shot by the police, but they do the same thing, telling people to cape for them, and then people would say, well, y'all need to calm down for the city. Nah, damn that. Y'all, you know what? This is what the fuck you get. Point blank, period. I don't even blame her. That's your fault. That's your fault. Well, man, you're a kid. That's your fault for letting her keep it. That's your fault. Like, I get the system's fucked up, but a lot of y'all can't play this game like y'all don't know. If she's like 8 years old, that means 2012. Man, y'all have this thing about y'all really believing that you're women or you're women, and shit like this happens because you have too many blind spots. Even if you engage with black women, you got to know what you're dealing with. You really do. And if you play this like they're going to do the right thing bullshit, well, you're going to wind up like this. I'm sorry. And by the way, I'm not even just trying to hamper on black women, because like I said, you see this with non-black women too. A lot of y'all be having shit on your forehead saying, come fuck me. I'm ready. And y'all don't even understand that, because y'all got way too much. Y'all have this mentality where y'all believe that y'all really overvalue a woman's like a man's man. Y'all are like, well, a woman is just completely on the bullshit or is manipulative as fuck. If she finds the right man, she's gonna be the right bitch. No. Y'all need to stop believing that and start really believing that bad, like women that are horrible people are just horrible people. Like with dudes, if dudes are just running through their pussy, and you got females that are saying, well, if he just fucks this pussy, then he'll act right. That generally doesn't work that way, and that's how you get fucked up. Primetime, hold on. Like it almost became a running gag. Primetime, my mom talked about it so much. Yeah, the mother allows it to, and the people on Dr. Kids on Facebook making excuse for her. Yeah, well, of course they're going to make excuses for her, and that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is, in their minds, in order to sympathize with him, you have to blame her, and these niggas are not going to blame, and these people are not going to blame her. They're not going to do that, and this is why your community is never going to move past that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. That is actually what the problem with the community is. It's not just the black woman. It's how black people, men included, cannot check. You have literally two situations. You have two halves of a whole, and one half is just allowed to be completely insane, and the other half you expect to make up for that half. No community works that way. No community works that way. But these, and by the way, you would think women would be smart enough to check that. If for nothing else, who would want to be a stepfather? Like, think about that. Who would want to be a stepfather to a situation like that? That's one reason to not be a stepfather. This is what they're treating the dudes that are biological father. We're way past the "you ain't my daddy" phase. Make sure you like the video. Yeah, society's gonna raise them, and society's gonna eat them. And the reality is, if you look, man, you don't like most of y'all ain't got the economics to do some Nick Cannon shit. And I'm not saying you would do that, but at the end of the day, you can restart. Well, how do they feel? Well, you know what? Some of that stuff is out of your control, and you worrying about it ain't gonna change shit. The reality is, if you were to have another family, you would be like, give me the kid. If let's say you got married, which I don't reckon, but let's say you did get married and you create another family. Well, technically you have the more stable family, so technically you should get custody. Now certain dudes may be willing to go over the river and through the moon. I think they create that bar that's so high that's almost inhuman you gotta be. But that's why I would say if they don't want to go, then they don't want to go. If you want to let a child to make adult decisions for some manipulation purposes, then it is what it is. But most dudes are not going to do that. Corey, the male stepson is a threat to the new stepfather, stepping on the mom previous family. Yeah, I've been in there. I see both sides of that one. Shout out to Bruce Almighty, Smurgo. Gen Z don't care. We just here to laugh at you old niggas still. Well, I mean, you know, y'all. First of all, no, you're not. And Smurgo, you gotta stop saying inflammatory shit. But no, most of these Z's are not in here to laugh at old niggas. Because here's the thing about a lot of you Z's. A lot of you Z's are basically getting locked in the lower classes and killing. Like a lot of y'all Z's ain't, like, don't let BGS gas you up. A lot of these Z's y'all ain't smarter than us. Y'all really not. A lot of y'all are just getting ate up. Because at this point, they not even creating a pretense that there's a fair thing. That's why you got motherfuckers shooting each other, blowing each other away, which you didn't really see with millennials like that. Millennials actually had business and shit. Y'all just straight killing each other for clout. But I don't like playing generational warfare. And also, old niggas, like, nigga, the generation above you isn't old niggas. So I don't know why you're saying that. The oldest millennials are 40. That's not an old nigga. Like, what are you talking about? But also, this doesn't help because Gen Z sees this, and Gen Z is ruthless on TikTok. Gen Z men and women are like, fuck marriage. Everyone just pumping and dumping each other. I've been pumped and dumped by. No, absolutely. But see, the difference is the females are going to want marriage when they want security. If for nothing else, if these females start to see other races of women get married, then they start to be like, why can't I too? That's their point. Dudes would be like, well, you were cool with it then. What's the difference now? Women will switch up hormonally. Like the thing, Smargo, you got to understand the oldest Z's are 24. So you all are not even in really marriageable age, even by United States standards. Like y'all would just now be looking to get married 23, 24. So y'all are not even there yet. The oldest Z's are like 23. So y'all are not even there yet. So of course y'all are pumping and dumping. Y'all are in the pump and dump age. So I don't know what you're talking about. Like nobody was out here talking about marriage when they were 18, 19, 20 years old. So that doesn't even fly. You all are not old enough yet to even do that. But let these hoes start getting to 30. Let these hoes start, want a lifestyle. Because see, that's another thing that people don't talk about. A lot of these females, like when females are young, they're not out here wanting all this lifestyle bullshit. And that social media may have changed that. But they don't have the same kind of like expensive taste that like older women tend to have. That's part of the problem with older women. Soul Provider speaks. Yeah, Gen Z told me daily they just here to laugh at old niggas, helmets, simps. Try. I mean, whatever. I mean, so Soul Provider, my thing is, so I want you to understand how that sounds. So if a Generation Z person, first of all, let's say this. There's a difference between these motherfuckers in the comment section, right? I don't take that completely seriously anyway. And then folks getting on panels verbalizing that shit. I done had plenty of Z's on my panels. If you all were to say, well, I'm just here to laugh at all these tryhards and all of this thing, I'm like, nigga, do you understand how much you got to be a loser to do that? And by the way, Smurgo says this, yeah, y'all got these bitches straight up swinging on y'all. So let's stop acting like y'all don't have y'all own problems. Because y'all are still engaging with women that are literally swinging on y'all, even if y'all like 6 foot and something. So like hitting 4. I'm gonna bring that up, because I even think, well, how old is Haskins? My point is, so y'all don't act like y'all got everything figured out. Y'all don't. Y'all are just dealing with women where y'all know what time it is. But anyway, going back to this, oh, well, we just deal with y'all millennials to laugh at you. Do you understand how effeminate that is? Like, I want you to really think about that. So you're telling, YouTube is a vast place. Even Black YouTube is a vast place. So being a vast place, you all get your and I'm saying whoever this applies to, you're taking your time. You could do anything you want to. Smoke weed, whatever you want to do. I'm not here to judge. You want to take the time and listen to men as if you all are not going to be the age of these niggas and deal with these problems in a much more ruthless way eventually. Because even if y'all not fucking these women, that doesn't mean these women can't fuck with you via politics, via whatever. Because all of y'all ain't hopping the fence. So let's start acting like all Z's are like dealing with non-Black women. That's not what it is. So there is going to be some intermixing there. But you're telling me that you got all these Z's that basically get on their cell phone or their computer and they listen for hours or whatever amount of time it is for their own personal entertainment, laughing at other Black men. That is some of the most bitch-made, faggot-ass, and I'm going to say it just like that, effeminate shit I've ever heard. Do you understand? I have so much more to do than to listen, than to get my right. Like think about that though. Like really, really think about that. Think about that. Like really think about how that sounds, Soul Provider. And by the way, you make content. So I mean, like think about that. Like what type of dude you gotta be to do that? Like there's so much stuff you can do on YouTube. And so much stuff. Not you, I ain't talking about you personally. I'm talking about people, because you're a content creator, so you get it. I'm talking about people, like, think about that. Yeah, man. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. Look at what she did. And I'm like, yeah, but Smurgo, I've never had a bitch swing on me before. and I'm 5'5". Like, seriously. And I'm light skinned. Seriously. So women, I say that because women will probably want to swing on me more than anybody. Anybody, because they think they could. I've had white dudes trying to fight me because they thought I was that nigga that they could get their thing on that I hit a black dude. I've had that happen a couple of times. And they found out the hard way. But really think about that. Y'all taking me off of what I was going to talk about. So I need to jump back on it. But I just want you to really think about that. You got Z's I want y'all to really understand something. There's a reason y'all are quitting McDonald's. There's a reason, because even though there's internet marketing opportunities, they setting y'all ass up to kind of deal with how the Xers had to deal with. There's buzz saws coming for y'all. And the reason why I got faith the disease will be smarter is because they're not playing with you. They're not creating this like fantasy that everything's fair. They let you know very clear. Your ass is going, like, I wouldn't be surprised if the prisoners rates don't go back up. They letting y'all know. They setting y'all up. And y'all see that. So y'all gotta respond. Millennials were allowed to believe this shit was fair. Z's don't. So when BGS talks about y'all got this edge because y'all know what y'all dealing with. And they're not playing with you. Think about it. It's the Z's, y'all generation, that they talk about 40% of y'all motherfuckers can't read. Y'all know what's waiting for you. And I don't say that to be like on this generational bullshit, but I grew up where the rappers were starting businesses shit. Nelly, even Chameleonaire, motherfuckers were smart. Drake, all them, they were smart. Y'all, like, you got motherfuckers that are straight blowing this, like they going to Chicago, Atlanta, just kill y'all. Just kill. I mean, it's almost like on some GTA type shit. So remember, when y'all sit here and y'all like laugh, y'all might be the ones that's kind of like being laughed at too. Let's remember that. So again, I'm not playing like, yeah, y'all, I don't think y'all really understand. Trust me, I know Z's that are kicking ass and taking names. I know Z's that are making money. Shout out to Tac Man. But just understand, if you on here and you laughing at like anybody, just laughing at them, you a goofy ass nigga. Because the reality is, why is that? You mean to tell me you're that much, somebody's that much of a loser that I don't even get on here and laugh at these chicks. Like, I got better things to do. Well, you on YouTube talking shit, dude. I get money for this. So you could say that, people could say that too, but I get paid to do this. Appreciate my supporters. So anyway. So yeah, I mean, but don't act like y'all like figured the shit out. Y'all ain't really figured it out. Mr. Let Blue Pill Toby Go is baiting for female. I mean, yeah, but why bait for a female? Because he something what was said really triggered him, because why bait for a female audience on Ramil show? There's no women that listen to Ramil like that. Poor parenting if you let your own child disrespect you. Yeah, no, Nikisha, that's interesting, Nikisha. You say that's poor parenting if you let your child disrespect you. Nikisha, I would ask you, what control does that man really have over that child if he's not the custodial parent? That's what I would ask you. And also, you wouldn't see men, even if the woman is bad, you wouldn't see men let women let their kids disrespect the mother. That's number one. And I'm not trying to disagree with you, but I'm just trying to say, like, it's deeper than that. It's deeper than that, because that's like saying, and I know, and by the way, I know I can show you women that when they kids became teenagers, they just started being wild children. Sometimes they're like that. And at the end of the day, you live in a society. I'm talking about, even if you think about it. You notice how it's never seen, and I'm not saying you're making this gender related, but I just want to say, you notice how it's never seen, if a black woman loses control of their child, it's really seen that the child is out of control. It's not seen that like the black woman lost control. It's never seen that she's a bad parent. It's always seen, whether it's a male or female, that the child lost control. Part of it is parenting. I'll give you that. But then you got to ask who's parenting. But he ain't in the household. That's what that woman is teaching, which could be what you're alluding to. But you also said let your own child disrespect you. You're also saying that as a mechanism, like abandoning the kid and just saying, okay, that's a check. I don't even need to talk to that kid. Ain't an option. I just want to put that out there because that is an option. And if my child were to disrespect me just casually like that, oh yes, that's an option that's going to be not only seriously considered, but seriously, probably going to be the prime option, which is why a lot of black men don't even got kids now. Nikisha also says, don't call men around your birthday or Christmas. I don't know what that means, but maybe I don't feel like thinking with that. Why would you let you talk to your child crazy? I agree. And you shouldn't. Shout out to the Smooth. And quite frankly, but when you say let, see, coming from a female, let means there's a whole lot of options you have. If your daughter talks to you crazy, you smack her upside the fucking head. Guess what? Most likely you're not going to lose custody of your child because you're a woman. Now let a man, now a man can probably get away with more smacking a dude upside the head. But again, you have custody. You're speaking from a female that you have a lot more rights than a man has. So there's a lot of things you could do. And quite frankly, black women will throw the child away all the time if they really can't control them. BMT is more deadly than COVID. Ha ha ha. Dardar, shout out to Dardar. Yeah, I don't get why he put that on social media. If he thought he was gonna garner sympathy, he must have forgotten he woke up. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's his fault. He's a dumbass. I mean, I don't understand that. Make sure you get those likes up, y'all. I'm not even looking at how many likes there are. And then make sure y'all hit up the Cash App. Much appreciated. I ain't been live for like a day or two. These infomercial hours. And if you're new here, I see 160. Make sure you make your presence felt. Xander with the Z. What's up? Star Packs. I can always start again. Make another kid. Absolutely. I love that. That shit. That shit was funny. I felt bad for Invincible. And that line he had. Shout out to Mr. Richardson for the $5 Cash App. Much appreciated. Y'all support that Cash App. But real talk. Dudes got to start having that mentality again. Because you got to the point where these women, they see you as sperm donors. I mean, shout out to the lead attorney. What lead attorney was saying that straight up. They like, you ain't worth. If you can't basically, because the lead attorney was trying to say $50,000 is above average, but that ain't shit. Basically, if you can't change these chicks' life, they think you worthless. And I mean, if they think you worthless, all that try hard shit ain't gonna change shit. I've gotten close, but I haven't either. Nikosha Morrow says, you immediately let your kid know. Don't ever talk to any adult like that. Never try to reason with a child. I'll give you that. But the reality is what I suspect, and obviously this is conjecture, but what I suspect is, number one, that's not the first time she did that. Because any dude is going to have a natural reaction. Shout out to Son is a hot raw. So the time spent laughing at black men on YouTube is the time they could have spent being productive. So who's the real clown there? Absolutely. And even then, it's like that's like I wish somebody would tell me that. Like, like it's been at least 5, and I'm not even counting Smurgo, because Smurgo I think is like 24. I've seen 5 dudes under the age of 20 that have said they didn't got hit on. Like, and when I say hit on, I mean punched at above the chest, meaning aim for the face, by sisters. So y'all ain't got no better control over these bitches than we do, because these hoes ain't like that. That's some normal shit for y'all. Shout out to the Don Juan. Ed, what's good, bro? Keep the gray hair. Much appreciated for the super chat. No, I get what you're saying. I don't know how old you are, Moro, because what you're saying is like what I would think too. But I can tell you right now, and yes, that is his fault for tolerating that, but you got to think of the mindset, because you would think the natural response is who you talking to, blah, 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 even if it was a dude. But guess what? The fact that he didn't do that means 2 things. The fact that he was reasoning with a child, that says a lot of shit. That speaks to that submissive shit that I'm talking about. Meaning he understood that she was probably told something by the mom, and he's trying to I'll say it this way, because see, I'm like creating stuff too much of information that we don't know in the video. So I'll bring it back to this. We know that he wants to be in that child's life more than she values having a father. And that's very obvious. That should not be the case. It should never, like, especially if we're talking about preteen years. We get the teenage shit and hormones. If you're not even in preteen years, you're dealing with that. Yes. He should be shamed. He should be shamed. I mean, he should be shamed in a way of showing other dudes that you don't need to tolerate this. But it sounds like you're kind of making it seem like it's his fault. Make no mistake, that his baby mama is a bitch. And it takes a special type of bitch that, quite frankly, needs to burn in hell to basically get a child that would disrespect the biological father like that. So let's not make this that's his fault and he created that situation. No, make no mistake, the baby mama is a bitch. But and that's part of why I'm saying that probably the best move would be just to abandon the kid. Like, because she's using the kid as a control mechanism, and you cannot allow that. That cannot be tolerated. And clearly we're way past him getting the kid. Yeah, cool flip. Yeah, he is goofy. And the thing about it is, you can tell that if you get him one-on-one, because I think Obsidian's interview him, there's a lot of like, he built different. Let me say that. And I don't say that to allude that he's moist or anything. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying he's built different. He's built different. I would like to know his origin story. His name is my name too. Nah, B, I would have caught a CPS case. Somebody get me a switch. No, I would have did just like I did with my mom. You don't talk to, don't like, and I ain't even no blow up argument. There's certain things you say, I just won't talk to you for a year and let you know that I did just like that. You be amazed at what I'm gonna tell you something. Ignoring motherfuckers is a powerful thing. No, none of our moms would. Man, Mr. Let Go was just playing both sides, just the game was. Yeah, some of that is. Nikisha says, why didn't he teach her immediately? That was disrespectful and never taught. He didn't teach her. I'm telling you, he didn't teach her immediately because the dynamic is he wants to be in her life more than she wants him in it. And she's already being corrupted. So if he would have said that, then chances are, because think about it. If she's willing to say that, you jumping on her ain't gonna change, because even let's say she gets scared, all that's gonna do is she gonna take it to the mom, and then the mom is gonna use that as a mechanism to take it to court. I'm not making excuses, but once you've gotten to that situation, see, again, you're thinking like a female, and women have a lot more rights. That's the thing. A lot of y'all, like, women actually are in this mindset where they think men got as much like applicable rights to a kid and doing shit to it. Women can leave a kid in a goddamn car and the kid dies and they don't even go to jail. A baby. See, I was done in 25 minutes, but I'm sitting there trying to answer y'all questions and be good. Trying to be a good host. I'm just saying, women don't ever think about this shit. Like, women really, like, y'all, like, women really be out here thinking this shit is equal. No, it's not. You all have more rights than men do. Like, I don't know why y'all, I don't know where y'all think y'all don't understand that. Your dude should have had a V8 and went SYSBM. Instead, he chose Ado Struggle Love. Ha ha ha. Yeah, Xanatos. See, thing about Xanatos Clutch, I'm very direct. Xanatos is very smug about it, which is why, because if you notice, me and Xanatos be pissing people off, like, for real. It's just we do it in different ways. Xanatos be acting like an uppity Negro versus me. I'm going to say, you fucked up. Here's why you fucked up. Daniel, shout out to Milwaukee for winning a championship. I mean, they need one. They need an L somewhere. Daniel Marshall sells NBA masks for $2.99 at clearance selling. It's worth $20. I bought 4 packs and keep the other 2 myself. You should definitely look into that. Yeah, that might. In fact, Tac man, I'm gonna do a screenshot with that. That might be something I look into. Damsel in distress. No such thing as a patriarchy in a nation with child support. Ha ha. That's actually smart. I wouldn't say that, but definitely where the kids don't automatically go to the dude, where the 10 years doctrine says it goes to the woman. Ben Porter, what more do you want from me? Oh God, yo, play that video. Then you play Tyrese's shit. I love that video when he does that. What do you want from me? That shit tickles me every time. Yeah, I'm sorry. That shit. Maybe I'm just as much of an asshole because I'm sitting there talking shit about these Z's. Yet that always picks me up when I'm being annoyed. Do you use Facebook Marketplace or sell those products, Tech Man? Yeah, Facebook Marketplace is great. You got Let Go, which is an app. You got Offer Up, which is an app. You got actually what's that fucking website? It's like a neighbor website. I forget, but there's a lot of stuff. Like obviously, Craigslist is the OG and still the best out there, even though they ain't changed their website. What's up, Calvin Rogers? What's up, Venezuela Reyes? Love that. Shout out to Venezuela. Has that, Hispanic Italian mix. I remember I dated a girl one time from Venezuela, and she's very beautiful, and she wanted to check me, and I started talking about her feet. I called them mountain feet. Now, she had some really, really pretty feet, but me adding the mountain feet in there, that had her really self-conscious. I let her know real quick, don't fuck with me. I will get real specific. But till this day, she's married now, to a Hispanic dude, but till this day, she calls me for like job references. Till this day. American Negro, Cricket, Death Racer. Look at homicide, violent crime over years. Please, crime consistently going down since the 80s, 90s. Young people be violent. It's old. Is an old. Young people being violent is an old nigga argument. No, that's not true, Death Razor. Because if you look at certain cities, like if you look at Atlanta and look at Chicago, like you could talk about that violent. Yeah, it was off the chains back in the day. But you got to remember, those dudes were more violent. Those old niggas when they were younger. Like them old niggas today, they grew up in the 80s. And then the next generation was locked up like a motherfucker. And so, yes, it's been sliding. But when you look at these cities, they're still uptick. So you're comparing that against when them old motherfuckers were being violent. And yeah, that's when shit was just on some other shit. And now, and it's been sliding since then, but there's still upticks within that. So when I say these motherfuckers shoot, yeah, that shit is still happening. Don't make like, are you serious? Atlanta, man, please don't believe that. Don't believe that. Cause crime is generally done with young motherfuckers anyway. And compare it to the millennials, compare it to 2000 versus 2010. Or compared to now. That'll give you an idea because I'm really just talking about millennial disease. I'm not talking about to the other generations. Every generation has its problems. But my thing is, we're not on here. See, here's the thing why I kind of took real heavy offense to what Smurgo said. We're not on here to basically, you don't really hear us talk down disease. We don't talk down disease. We don't be telling you what you should do as far as you need to do the right thing. Everything we say is, especially with black men, is for your best interest. We're very transparent with our experiences, whether it's millennials or Xers. We're telling y'all about child support. We are really advocating for information so you all can have a better and now some of this stuff you all see like in real life, but we telling you how this story ends. There's a lot of let's keep it real. BGS generation as a generation didn't do that. They basically swept shit under the rug so the next generation can repeat the cycle. Because that's a part of the bullshit. So I kind of take offense to motherfuckers saying that they get on this motherfucker to laugh when you got motherfuckers getting swung on. This shit y'all deal with from these bitches we didn't deal with. So not as a whole group. So when y'all are like, like that's like, I don't understand where that comes from. And see, y'all keep trying to charge it to, well, you an old nigga. No, bullshit. Like, oh, you an old nigga, you an old nigga. Well, ain't no shit old. I mean, ain't nothing old nigga about what I'm saying. I'm not telling you should do. I'm saying do what you want to do, but I'm telling you what the environment is. But if y'all want to act like y'all ain't got no problems and y'all like don't let people like BGS fool you. Like y'all, like half of you niggas can't read. You want to really get in it. You living in a digital world. You got people like Mike V, Gabe A talking about y'all need to be in goddamn tech, and y'all niggas are on some Floyd Mayweather bullshit, and y'all ain't Floyd Mayweather. So trust and believe. They got a plan for your ass. Well, Gabe A, you an asshole. So that is what it is. And at least Gabe A, you talk your shit on you at least come on the panels and talk your shit. I'm talking about motherfuckers that try to do that in the comment section. They ain't never, you know, they want to do it. They want to hide. Vince M. The 80s and 90s were era of fairness and equality, some which was legitimate, but a good portion was. It was an illusion. It was an illusion. Well, with 80, it was an illusion. But see, the fairness and equality bullshit was it was to a certain extent because they needed motherfuckers to be stepfathers. Shout out to Son is a Hot Rod again. The best thing that dude could have done was tell his daughter to look him up when she's 18, and when she does, attitude better be gone. Nah, I disagree with that. It's better to impact the child by not. Don't say that because that's something that'll really like imprint on them. What you do is just don't talk to them. And if she don't ask and she don't care, then she don't care. And if she do, still don't talk to her. But you ignore her ass. No, we not doing a 2-hour stream. We ain't laughing at nobody suffer. We laugh at niggas that's still trying to save this shit. Oh, okay, Smurgo. All right. Well, Smurgo, I understand that. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, that I've seen and that I understand. But I'm glad I still said the other side of it, too. Some dudes probably laughing at y'all suffer too, just like dudes laughed at me getting smacked. Yes, and Smurgo, I jumped and Smurgo, real talk, what did I say with them? That is not funny. That's not funny because number one, we need guys that's gonna be open about that shit because women are trying to act like that shit doesn't happen. That's not funny. And yes, I check those dudes for doing that too. All of y'all are grown. Y'all ain't teenagers. But I hear you, Smurgo. He said my cousins was gonna drag her, but I didn't want my people to get my charges. She just got out of jail herself at the time. No, I understand that. I understand that. But a lot of dudes, what a lot of dudes gotta start doing is shout out to Tac Man for the super chat. Let talk until my home contract expires. Oh, please. What's up, AM1? Shout out to AM1, yo. If y'all are subscribed to me, y'all should definitely be subscribed to AM1. AM1 doesn't do a lot of videos often, but when he does, he's kicking real shit. AM1 is really on some, do you type shit. And he's a very good videographer. We always got to support our videographers. We don't have enough of them. And AM1 be doing some real shit. I mean, he be doing some real shit, like for real, out in the Bay Area. So make sure y'all sub to AM1. And also, like, JR Wisdom is actually an old school dude, too. Oh, okay. Well, Smargo, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Yeah, Chicago has been on fire. And quite frankly, my Atlanta is starting to be on fire, too. Gen Z does have the most difficult dating market the wrong way. Yeah, Smargo, maybe I did take it the wrong way, but I'm glad I put that disclaimer out there. And that's really across the board. Absolutely, AM1. Appreciate the $5 super chat. But no, man, like as an audience, like my thing is, yo, we are a team. Like I gotta talk. In fact, MC is another dude that y'all need to start supporting too. Like when I share people on my shit, I do that for a reason. Shout out to the Bullets show for sharing my stuff. I appreciate that. Like we, Smurgo BJ has been tripping. Smurgo been tripping. I see. I don't know. He had the last video he had was fire. But at the end of the day, I saw AM1 old video with Aston Fan. Absolutely, AM1 keeps it 100, and he's actually doing the shit. But yeah, man, and it's not about and like, but yeah, that shit should be not tolerated. All right, so I got to the bottom. I got to the bottom. Okay. You said my thoughts on a black man. No, I'm done. Like y'all got like when I do it this late, I'm not really trying to drop the link. I'm really not, unless because I gotta do shit the next day. BJ's been heated lately. Yeah, because a lot of this stuff that he said he hoped wouldn't happen is starting to happen. What is my thoughts on black men? I mean, kudos to her. I saw Red Supreme's video where he was breaking it down with I skimmed it with Paris Milan. But I mean, they just being open about it. I mean, what I find another store. Like I said, if you can do better, do better. Do better. If you really want to be married, go get who you want. Paris was trying to clean it up and protect her look, protect that woman's look good. She was making excuses for the white dude, which is what they're gonna do. You said because I'm what? Man, please. I ain't scared to debate. Y'all want me to drop the link. Y'all asked me that shit on the weekend. But like I said, man, like the delusion and I trust me, I'm constantly writing down videos for titles and I'm getting this upload shit right. But yeah, yo. I appreciate that there's no problem with that. I mean, the more black women do that, the more goofy they gonna look. Like Red Supreme already spoke on it, and he did it the right way. I mean, here's the thing: I'm not here to tell. I'm not worried about black women doing that. Like we all know that black women don't have the same requirements for non-black men that they have for black men. We already understand that. It's really a whole bunch of goofy ass niggas that want to act like that's not the case. But real talk, we know what that is. So that's not new shit to me. So when they sit there and they do what they do, and I don't even want to call it desperate or whatever. They're like again, just like how they'll try to say black women and white men have the most solid relationship. No, that's because men typically don't file for divorce, and black women are not ever going to divorce a white man. We know that. Like this stuff is not even like anything to be commented on. If anything, I kind of see what people gonna do to try to clean it up and make it so it don't look bad. I know Smurgo was probably well, I ain't gonna say all that. But I know Smurgo saw Love Dorsey with that bikini on her that live she did. That was a long live she did. Them chicks would get mad too. I mean, I accept this. So I'm not in here like I'm not in here trying to change people. I understand what it is to know how to navigate it. I speak to it versus, people like AM1 got better things to do. I speak to it for my own personal entertainment, and I think this is my part of doing stuff for other people. But at the same time, we've always knew this. And this is why I don't know why these women pretend to be pro-black. I'm like, I don't know why y'all pretend to be pro-black and y'all out here trying to act like, y'all are, oh well, we date, like, because remember what I've always told y'all, because some of y'all ain't been in this game for long enough. Y'all haven't seen the cycles. These women go through cycles online where they start saying, well, we really want white men. They start telling the truth, then they start lying, and they start telling the truth. Well, we need y'all to be this. Well, y'all are really lame. We have babies with these niggas because we said we ain't attracted to y'all. They always go back through this. The high value men thing is kind of a new argument, a newer argument, but it's still the, well, we need y'all niggas a broke argument. And then it's, well, we really want white dudes. And then they circle back to being pro-black again. They like, again, a lot of what they do is coping mechanism. So yes, I think that if you want a white man, you should do whatever you need to do to get one, including proposing, because they're not going to propose to you. They're going to want a guarantee. And it is what it is. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, don't be this idea that they're race loyal. That's bullshit. And then Paris was trying to make excuses saying, well, he's a high value white man, so blah, 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 blah. I can understand that. But at the end of the day, you know, these dudes ain't got to be high value black men. Now, I'll tell you this. I'm waiting for O'Shea to drop that video on Van Jones, because Van Jones supposedly got $100 million from Jeff Bezos, which, you know, I give credit where credit's due. You know, because his wife dropped some money to black folks too. I mean, that's chump change compared to them. But like, real talk, I'm not gonna act like he ain't done anything about it. Is Van Jones has like Black Boys Code and stuff. And this is also a reason why, even though y'all people got to stop talking shit to motherfuckers not necessarily married to black people, because you never know. So anyway, I mean, I'm not even saying that because I don't even hope like a Chad Wheeler situation hit Chad Wheeler say. But anyway, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. But at the end of the day, you got to do, like, black women want to preserve truth as much as possible, because, or they want to preserve trust as much as possible, because without trust, the return on investment that they can get from a black man goes down. So they're always gonna so a lot of what we say, they have a problem with it, because like I got a video that this gonna drop talking about how they don't like black people talking to each other. They don't like like Z's talking to millennials, or millennials talking to Xers, or Xers are talking to baby boomers. They don't like that dialogue, because the more we start talking, the more we become a better consumer of the black female product. And the more we start doing that, the more we start requiring more, and that's a problem. That's a problem. So they're always going to fight that. They always, this is why when they talk about they want black men to build, no, they don't, because there's certain things that come along with building that's gonna automatically make it so they can't do what they do. They want you to build shit. They want you to build the gynocracy. This is why BGS's work talking about a village wife and shit is important, because when they talk about they want to be married and all this bullshit, the reality is they want to be a village wife. That's what they really want. And you see that. And we see that in our homes. There ain't nothing wrong with that, but you need to know, if that's what you want to do, you need to know that's what you're doing going in. Anyway, all right, y'all. I appreciate the 175. Let me see where the likes are at. Like I said, definitely subscribe to AM1. Because AM1 doesn't do videos all the time, but you know, definitely good camera work and all of that. Drops fire. I'm definitely, you know, for the end of the year, gonna step up what I'm doing. All right, I appreciate y'all got it 110. You know, we got one dislike hater. No, congratulations. Yeah, Xanato said y'all can have the village. I choose civilization. Absolutely. Let me make sure. Let's see, we got do some maintenance. All right. All right. And another thing too is we need to start pushing like people's Instagrams too, because there's a lot more activity on Instagram than we thought. Like I had to start really, really being consistent on the other social media and doing something kind of unique to all of that. Because I can tell you right now, like, if y'all really want to be on Twitter, I can give these hoes smoke on Twitter all day, like Tariq, because I be and then like I said, I'm telling y'all right now, let me see, I actually have started a TikTok. Let me see, have I? Yep, view profile. So if any of y'all are on TikTok, definitely follow me on TikTok. And I gotta, like, it's some crazy ass username and all that. So I gotta get that straight. But yeah, definitely follow me on TikTok. I'm definitely gonna start promoting my TikTok. Um, yeah, Loki was great, and I don't want to give away the ending. So y'all check it out. I mean, Loki was about 6 hours long. Y'all should be able to bang that out. Well, the problem with Twitter is good for some things. Like, I would tell somebody, if you're trying to build up a YouTube channel, here's the thing. Like, you could use Twitter, but you gotta see, when you engaging in comments on social media, you gotta really know what you're trying to do. And it's very easy to get lumped in with. It's very easy to just go back and forth, but you gotta really know what you really doing. But anyway, yeah, yeah. So that's because you think these Z's are going crazy on TikTok. They going crazy on. So I'm telling you that right now. TikTok is kind of the wild wild west. So any of y'all thinking about going in going into social media, and y'all really not trying to put as much work as y'all think, like, build up the TikTok, because TikTok allows to do 3-minute videos now, and then you could always try to parlay that into a YouTube channel. It's a lot of good stuff coming up, and that's another thing too. Like, I'm gonna start being, so you got Roger and Donnie and them on the Black Dimension, where they do the geekdom stuff and Kevin stuff. I'm gonna start promoting that more, and I'm gonna also start promoting artisan MC stuff more, because he does his stuff at 3 o'clock. And generally the Black Dimension does their stuff like later that night on Sunday. And I don't the thing about it is, I can't always, I don't really want to create another channel and have y'all subscribe to multiple channels, because that's going to split my stuff. So what I'm probably going to do is, I'm probably going to just lump that into this content, and then it's just going to be a red, kind of a black version of that content, and that'll be just a part of this content. But we need to start supporting the geekdom stuff. Like, when it comes to geekdom stuff, the sports stuff, and that's one thing I'm gonna start doing, Flip. One of the things I'm gonna do for you all, if y'all, cause see, that TikTok is like the Edward Anderson TikTok. What I'll start doing is, I'm gonna start sharing, cause you can kind of share, either do duets. Duets is like, you put yourself to the side and you hear somebody and you comment on it. Duet is typically, you get what I'm saying? So there's ways that I can kind of repost stuff, so I can help you all find stuff. And that's another thing, like, that I'm gonna start doing with my Telegram, is I'm gonna start, like, putting stuff so y'all can find people, y'all can find hashtags, so y'all can really kind of get really deep in that community. Because I'm gonna start doing that, because I kind of got the time to do that. So, but also TikTok, don't just use TikTok for that. Like, seriously, if you want to be in the game, then you could do that. But also, there's a great opportunity for TikTok as far as making money online as well. So anyway, that's kind of some. You said Fresh and Fit is banned from TikTok. I mean, Fresh and Fit can create another TikTok. They can always create it under Myron or Fit or Fresh. I didn't know that. Ain't no way. Like, they may have got the. I don't think they got banned. They may have got the channel got shut down, because I've seen black women get their channels turned down because they were saying some shit that was too real. Oh yeah, these women will get channels shut down. Yeah, these women will get triggered on this shit. I'm sure some of their videos on TikTok. That's not, well, I mean, at the end of the day, there's a way, there is red pill content on there. There's a way to present the content. There's a way to present the content. And here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. It doesn't matter. All that censorship bullshit, because I've seen black women get banned over there. And number one, I'm not there. I'm there to really just observe what's going on over there, because I'm also over there on my internet marketing stuff. But the reality of the situation is the fact that they're banned, the fact that these women, because the reason it's getting banned is not because TikTok is targeting it. What's happening is that a lot of um a lot of these women are basically the shit, like it's a red pill channel. Like a lot of the stuff that doesn't work as much on YouTube, TikTok is not as sophisticated yet with it. So they get stuff shadow banned and all of that. But at the end of the day, man, that shit don't mean nothing. That don't mean jack shit, because the reality of the situation is, you know, that content is gonna be on YouTube. So I'm talking, it's like in Instagram, you can't really ban it like that either. So there's ways. No, I don't watch him. There's ways to present the content in a certain way. Um and so I'll be experimenting with that. Maybe I'll get banned, probably. Um but we're here to try to find our audience. And if they want to get mad and they want to sit there and just ban people, they can do that. But that shows you how threatened they are about it. If it was just that, oh, motherfuckers are just lame and shit, they wouldn't have to do all of that. So again, I'm telling y'all to create a TikTok to follow me. Now, if we get banned, we get banned. We'll just do another one. I'm not worried about that. But the reason why I need y'all to follow me is so we can do lives. And there's people that I can collab with and stuff like that. And it don't even matter, because as far as I'm concerned, my purpose of doing that is to get people over here anyway. So if I get people over here and then I get banned, it is what it is. I go in, that's what I'm talking about. You go in there. Yeah, I'm still on Telegram. You go in there kind of knowing that might happen. So you're not sitting there worry, oh, I'm trying to build a whole bunch of thing and then blah, blah, blah. I'm not even going to do that. In fact, I probably won't even come at it in the same way. Like, for the most part, a lot of my stuff on there is going to be more motivational. And when I say motivational, I don't mean just gassing shit up. I mean like more like personal accountability and responsibility, and kind of having that angle with it. So it's not going to be just this shit repeated over there. So anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna end this. And with that being said, yo, this is Edward signing off. Peace.